Grant Hardin, former police chief, escapes from prison. This guy was in law enforcement for many years, behind the scenes, doing some heinous crimes and getting away with it and terrorizing his little town he lived in, Gateway, Arkansas. Brought on to protect and serve, they ended up terrorizing the town.
In October of 2017, Grant went ahead and pleaded guilty to murder, and he was handed a sentence of 30 years. After his conviction, Grant's DNA was uploaded to CODIS to see if he matched with any profiles involved with other crimes. And sure enough, Grant did match with one other unsolved crime, a sexual assault that still had an open warrant in Rogers. He just went ahead and pleaded guilty and received an additional 50 years in prison.
This is really bizarre. There was a critical error that misclassified Grant as a medium security prisoner instead of a high security prisoner. You'd think a rapist and murderer would be a high security prisoner, but somehow he got it lowered. So classified as a medium risk inmate, Grant had a lot of time on his hands and little supervision. So much so that he was able to obtain a Sharpie and dye his jumpsuit black. Then he used cans from the kitchen to fashion a little badge for himself. He then folded kitchen aprons into what looked like a tactical vest, and then finally, he built a ladder using a wooden pallet to allow him to climb out of the kitchen through the back door. Then on May 25th, 2025, at approximately 1:58 p.m., Grant was allowed onto the kitchen's back dock, where he kept his disguised backpack with supplies and his ladder hidden. At 2:53 p.m., Grant climbed that little ladder of his, and he reached the prison's exit through the sally port. He jumped through, grabbed a random dolly, and then just walked his ass straight out of the prison. The only check was a brief glance by a corrections officer watching him at the gate from the tower, I believe. They just simply looked at him and then just opened the gate up for him. 3:08 p.m., they noticed that they're missing a prisoner, and that's when the search officially began for them, and the prison went on lockdown at 3:40 p.m. Law enforcement agencies all over are joining in the search, including Arkansas State Police and then even the Department of Homeland Security. But for the first several days of his escape, Grant held out in a cave, surviving off stolen peanut butter sandwiches he made for himself. One day, Grant left behind his bag when he went foraging for some berries and some other things to eat. However, search dogs cut off his route back to the cave, so he had to abandon his survival pack. So now he's just got nothing. But he was out there for 2 weeks, believe it or not, evading capture. This day and age, you can't evade capture for very long. They're going to find you. On June 6th, they came for him. He didn't have any food, no water. He's thirsty. He's hungry. And this little charade got him transferred over to Varner Supermax unit in Lincoln County. He faces additional charges, 5 to 20 years additional.
That just sealed the
for
rest
escape.
of your life.